Welcome to the Take Two with Tonia podcast with your host, Tonia Myers. This is a space for women 50 years and older to create the life we have always wanted and dreamed of. On this podcast, expect to have your mind expanded, your spirits uplifted, and your soul encouraged. We will explore the self-development journey of others and pull from it the gems needed for our own self-transformations. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast of today. We have quite a show in store for you. Me and my girl, WineDeeDee, done got together. Hey. What's Your Wine Energy and Take Two with Tonia. We have gotten together and we're collaborating and we're coming in here just to share some of our stories and some of the things that we have experienced and to talk to how we even got to this point where we are sister podcasters now. And we are so excited about it. We got it started. We determined that this year was going to happen. And so today we are here. Take Two with Tonia and What's Your Wine Energy here with WineDeeDee. And y'all, let me tell you, WineDeeDee has some awesome and amazing stuff. Make sure you check out her YouTube channel, follow her podcast, as well as following Take Two with Tonia. We are talking about, she is getting all the scoop on everything that needs to happen or that is happening in your life with success stories. And we all do it with what? A glass of wine.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Cannot do without that.
Right. We sitting here sipping. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we're
always with a glass of wine.
We're gonna talk about these wines and we're gonna just talk about life because me and Dee get it in. We get it in. So Dee, how's your day going?
You know what? The day is going great. The week has been a little busy, but hey, busy is good. Busy is good. That means you're being productive. So exactly. But the day is going great. Hey, about to go into this weekend, and you know you can't go into your weekend without some wine, girl.
Right. You gotta have your little beverage.
Yeah, got to.
Speaking of beverage, my little girl came in yesterday and she was so upset about something that happened at school.
Oh my goodness.
And I told her you could tell when she came in the room, she was wound kind of tight.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I said, do you need a beverage? You look like you might need a beverage. Let's go downstairs and get some ginger ale.
Yes. Get some ginger ale, some juice, so that let's take the edge off. Yes.
So her wine energy for yesterday was ginger ale.
Honey, that's good. That's good.
And today, I am drinking Roscato. So let's just go on and set it up right quick because I am a baby wine lover, right? I do like me a wine, but I like it really sweet, almost where it tastes fruity. I've gone to wine tastings with WineDeeDee and that stuff was a bit hard for your girl over here, right? And hey,
you got to get there. You have to get yourself there.
I know. So today
and you may never get all the way there.
I don't know if I'm gonna ever get out of the way there because it just really is. It's strong like beer to me.
Look, you know my motto: drink what you like, you like. So if you like it sweet, drink it sweet.
I'm gonna drink it sweet. So I'm on the second phase of my life. Take Two with Tonia, and I am right now. I have come to a point. I am 52 years old, and I am. Y'all gonna get it how I give it, right? Y'all gonna get it.
There you go, girl. Look, you don't look a day over 30.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Girl, hey, that good melanin.
Right. Yeah, right.
And I do believe that some wine will help you stay. Okay, so let's talk about that. Some wine helping you to de-stress and just deal with life as it comes. And I know the wine industry has, and I haven't looked this up, but I'm sure during the pandemic, the wine industry went through the roof.
A booming roof. The wine, the liquor, the beer, whatever, to just get people through 2020. Yes, it did. It had a boom. And the great thing about it, the wine industry, is that for Black-owned wineries, it was really successful for Black-owned wineries. And I love seeing that because a lot of us didn't know that we had so many Black-owned wineries. It's because they were not getting the publicity that they're getting now. So that was a great thing that came out of it. So but the wine industry, honey, it took off. Now, you've been on me a long time. You know, I've been
Right.
into it forever.
Forever.
But it did take off. The wine industry took off. So what's your Winenergy today? You mentioned a Riscato. So that's your energy today?
That's my energy today, a Riscato, a nice sweet red wine. So I'm, trying to introduce myself to the reds, right?
Got you.
Grown-ups drink red, I think. Grown-ups drink red. Clearly.
Yeah, grown people drink red, but you know, hey, it is your taste. But a Riscato is a good wine. It's nothing wrong with it. It is on the sweeter side, but it's not so sweet where it's like you like to say high C,
Right.
Or that sweet Kool-Aid we used to drink back in the day.
Right.
It's not that sweet. It's in a Lambrusco family, which is in a sparkling wine, champagne type family. So if you like a Riscato, that's good. You'll be able to find that in different places, many different places. Because I believe the Riscato comes out of France or Italy. I think it comes out of France. Italy. So it's an Italian sparkling wine.
Right.
It is made with some of the sweeter grapes. It's a blend. And then there you go. That's what you do. And so it's a really good wine to start with, or to just have around the house. Like I think I just drank a Lambrusco maybe about 2-3 weeks ago. So it's just a good wine to just have at the house.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yes.
And you know what? Since you say that, I do just have it at the house.
There we go.
Baby. I give me some Riscato on deck just to have. And I was introduced to Riscato maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. My husband and I were on a trip to DC.
Okay.
And his friend, she was like, Tonia, I got this wine that you could take, you could get. And we went to Sam's and no less at that point. Sam's to get it. And now everybody sells this wine because it's at Walmart. It's everywhere. You know, a matter of fact, let me go on and help the people. Show them what the bottle looks like. Show them
what the bottle looks like. The Riscato. Yes, you can find that bottle just about everywhere. Like you said, Sam's, Walmart, Publix. Any pretty much any wine grocery store, wine store, big box store, you can find a Riscato. And so that is a
saw it at the BP gas station.
Oh yeah.
It's only about $13 at the most, right?
$13 at the most. Well, you know what, Tonia, you said something. I think every adult should always have a bottle of wine around at their house. You just have a bottle, whether you drink it or not. Have a bottle, keep a bottle around, because
you just never know.
You have family coming over, you got friends coming over, now that we are gathering again.
Correct.
Break out that bottle of wine and say, well, you know what? I have this. I don't really drink wine. Let's try it. You'll be very surprised, because I'm drinking white today.
Oh,
I'm on white today. I'll be on red later on, but I'm on white today. This is a wine variety that you may or may not have heard of. It's called a Chenin Blanc. Chenin, Chenin. Chenin Blanc.
Yeah, I was gonna do CHINON.
Right, there you go.
CHE what?
CHENIN.
Okay,
Chenin Blanc.
Okay.
And it is actually, this grape is mostly grown in South Africa. It's a South African white grape. I love it.
I'm gonna go and give me some African wine then, girl.
There you go. Get you some South Africa. South Africa makes some really, really good wines. And this is their number one that they're known for, the Chenin Blanc. Okay. Now, people like, well, what is a Chenin Blanc? So you've heard of Sauvignon Blanc, correct?
Yes.
So if you like Sauvignon Blanc, if you like Chardonnay, then I would say try a Chenin Blanc. You're going to be pleasantly surprised. Okay. It's more in that family with a Sauvignon Blanc, a Chardonnay. And it can run the gamut. It can go really, really dry to, not really, really sweet, not like a Riscato, but on the sweeter, mid-range, sweeter side of white. Most of the ones that I drink, most of the ones that I've tried, they're not real dry to me. They're more in that from dry to right there when you get to sweet range. So I think you'll like it. Anybody who likes Chardonnay and oak Chardonnay or Chablis. A Chablis is a Chardonnay. Okay. But the thing about Chablis is you can't mix it with any other white grape. Like some Chardonnays are mixed just a little bit with other white grapes. With Chablis, it has to be 100% a Chardonnay grape.
Okay.
So if you like that, and if you like an oaky Chardonnay, or maybe even a buttery Chardonnay, you'll love a Chenin Blanc. So try that.
Okay.
I would say
I'm gonna have to
put that on your list. Try that. It's really good.
And so for the ones who don't necessarily maybe like that, I did see Stella Rosa is my other brand of choice, right?
Most people that like the sweet, they like the Stella Rosa.
So, you know, us seasoned women, we might want a little sugar in our drink. And
yes,
I saw
nothing wrong with
that. I saw a thing today that was like a little, it was a Facebook girl, one of the girls in Facebook was like, y'all better run to Walmart because they got this whole little it's like a little kit or a little set, if you will, of all the different lists. I was like, oh, I gotta go to Walmart on my lunch break. And
Walmart and Sam's have it.
Oh, Sam's has
it's a little Stella Rosa kit that you get the different flavors. Yes. Okay. And I would tell people, now is the time that we're getting into our fall months, getting into our holidays. You know, if you do anything with Halloween, and then of course Thanksgiving is coming up and Christmas, look in your stores, especially your big box stores like Sam's and Costco's.
Yeah,
they're going to have some different types of little kits and some packaged wines,
like samplers, huh?
Yes, samplers. And sometimes it can be smaller bottle samplers, or sometimes, you know, and they'll give you a lot of those, or sometimes it can be your regular, you know, 750 milliliter bottle, but it'll be like in a 4-pack. Prime example, I just bought a Bordeaux. Now that is from the Bordeaux region of France. It is red. It is not going to be sweet. I'm going to just tell you that.
Right.
It is going to be a very robust Bordeaux. Can be very robust with a lot of tannins. That's that thing you don't like. Yes. That thing that hits you in the throat.
Yes.
That means, that means it has a lot of tannins. Now, you know, that's what I like.
Right.
I like that. Right. But those wines go really well with food. So if you are, especially in the winter months, when we're starting to now make, you know, soups and chili, and we're having roast and steaks and barbecue and things of that nature, they go really well with that. But I found it was in a crate, 4-pack. It was, all of them were Bordeaux's. But the thing about it is, you know, Sam's and Costco's have these great prices on things.
Right.
So at Costco's, I was like, man, that looks like a wonderful price for 4 Bordeaux. So it was like, I think it was like $29, $30. Well, one bottle, it was 4 in there. One of those bottles is over $50.
Oh, that was a great price.
Thank you. So that's a great deal. Price. So people, go out. Now is the time for you to really start trying the wines and pick up those sampler packs. Stella Rosa, you know, you're going to see a lot of different sampler packs coming out now for the holidays. Pick it up, try it. You're getting a great deal with those sampler packs. So yeah.
So let me ask you this, DeeDee, what made you decide to start this podcast? Let's talk about that journey. Because I remember, let me give them a little back history.
Yes, please.
I remember, and now let me just tell you, I've known DeeDee for over 20 something years. I knew her before her children and everything. And I remember 20 something years ago at your home, you had a wine party for us. You know, we thought we was fancy, right?
Yeah, I know.
So, I remember back then you loved wine. And so you were trying to educate us and enlighten us on wine and all that kind of stuff. So let's talk about, I didn't realize how much you loved it to the point now that we have What's Your Wine Energy. So let's talk about how you even got into What's Your Wine Energy.
Girl, well, now, you know, like you just said, I've loved wine for the longest time. And how I came about this podcast, you know, and you and I talk all the time. And we are always talking about, especially on this back end of our lives, the second half of our lives, though we like to say.
The take two.
The take two. Right. Like, take two, we was like, what, you know, let's just do some things. Let's just try some things. And so, you know, during the pandemic was when I started WineDeeDee.
Right.
And I started putting out different wines and different, you know, how you pair with food. And that just kind of took off. And I was like, you know what else can I do with this? And you planted the seed. You were like, girl, you know, podcasting is taking off. And, you know, I wasn't a big podcaster like you are. I was like, podcasting. So we started talking about it and we were like, okay, what can we do with this? You and I, we took this class together to kind
Yeah.
of tell us about
Right.
how to do podcasting.
Right.
And I
David
was like,
Shands.
David
Was he
Shands.
not great?
Yes,
David
he was
Shands.
great. The
Social
David
proof,
Shands
yeah.
social proof podcasting. It was 5 days. And we took that, and that just sparked something in me. And I was like, you know what? I can take my wine to the next level. And for some reason, the word wine energy kept sticking with me. And I was like, okay, so what's your wine energy? And that's how What's Your Wine Energy came about. Because my 4 things about wine. The 4 things I always say: wine is passion, wine is celebration, wine is health, and wine is energy.
Right.
And it is. Once you get into it, I love it so much. And I'm going to tell you what really put me over into just the different realm of really learning about it. I don't know if you remember this, when you and I worked together years ago. I believe you guys went in together to give me this book about wine. It's this big, thick book. I wish I had it in front of me. I can go get it. I know where it is, but this big, thick book about wine. It runs the gamut. It just tells you everything. When I tell you it's thick, it's like this thick.
Okay.
And when you guys gave me that book, that just opened up just a world to me that I didn't even know existed in the book.
Amazing.
And I have been trying different wines, other than, there's nothing wrong with Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Cabernet, Sauvignon, and Merlots. Nothing wrong with those. I love those. I keep those around. But that book got me into knowing what a Chenin Blanc was.
Right.
Knowing what something like agave
Or Bordeaux even.
Bordeaux. Yes, what a Bordeaux is. And I have been trying new wines. Anywhere I go, I'm going to try to pick up something new anywhere I go. And I just love it. And if people, some people think, oh, it's drinking, is alcohol, take that out of it. Because my little joke, I like to say, there's a reason Jesus' first miracle was putting water in the wine.
And you know what? So
is a reason.
Even that is everything done in moderation, right? Everything done in moderation. Now, if you don't know how to be moderate, then by all means, you should probably not pick up a glass of wine.
If you have problem with alcohol, don't drink wine. Don't drink any alcohol. Okay.
Right.
So I'm not advocating for everybody to. If you have a problem, and we all have our problems in different areas, if something is a trigger for you or a problem for you, do not do it. So if alcohol is it, people, don't drink it.
Right.
But if you are just getting into it, or you want to get into it, or you see people drinking it, and you see people drinking it, and it just looks so good when they have their glass in their hand, and they look fancy, and you're like, try.
Right.
Like you like the sweet ones. You started with the sweet ones. Try it. And I would tell you to just kind of gradually move yourself up. Gradually.
I'm gonna try it with I know you told me one time that it tastes different with food.
It tastes different.
So I'm going to start trying some with the food so that I can taste it. Like, cause I would love to taste some. What goes good with a steak? Cause
oh girl, a Bordeaux. But that may be a little too heavy for you.
So let me say, if I go to a restaurant and we're talking about a regular old restaurant around here, like say if I went to I don't know, a good steak place around here that's not
Longhorn.
Yeah, if I went to a Longhorn, what kind of wine could I order at Longhorns that I could possibly get to go with a steak?
If you're just starting with red wines and you don't want anything that's really heavy or has a lot of tannins that hit you in the throat, start with a Pinot Noir. I'll tell everybody. And actually, Pinot Noir to this day is still my number 1 favorite red wine. Okay. Pinot Noir, because it is on the lighter side, most of them. It has tannins. Now, get ready. It's not sweet. So it's not going to be sweet. But it doesn't have so much tannins in it where you're just like, oh my goodness, it's too much. So I tell anybody that's starting to drink red wine, start with a Pinot Noir. I think you're going to really love it, and especially with a steak.
I think I'm gonna get the hubby, and we're gonna go out and eat it, or we're gonna throw some on the grill, and I'm gonna get a Pinot Noir.
Get a Pinot Noir.
So I will take a picture. Y'all check out our Instagram feed.
Yes, please.
And y'all can see a picture of my steak as well as my Pinot Noir. So all right.
Yes, because steak and food, I mean, it's like wine and food just go together.
Right.
It does.
Right.
I very rarely, probably never nowadays, sit down and eat, especially my dinner, without having a glass of wine. I just because, and you know, most people, they plan what food they want to eat first.
Right.
They okay, well, I want to have chicken tonight. What wine goes with that? You know, I'm different, girl. I'll be like, what wine I'm drinking tonight? Okay, then whatever.
Yes, you are. That is so the opposite. Because look, I'm like, what goes with the steaks? I already decided I'm gonna do a steak. I'm
like,
okay. And so let's take this, because what goes with a nice pork chop?
With a pork chop, a nice Chardonnay.
Okay.
If you want to go white, would go really well with a pork chop. You can try it with a nice Chardonnay. Now, Chardonnays can run the gamut too. They can be very dry, you know, or they can be buttery. They can be oaked. Do you know what I mean when I say oak? Like they have been aged in an oak barrel.
In a barrel.
Yeah, and it's going to give it a totally different taste than an unoaked Chardonnay. Unoaked Chardonnay, most of the time they were just put in a steel barrel, you know, so it doesn't have any oakiness to it. And when you put them in the steel barrels, they are not aged as long, so they're going to be a lot more fresh and maybe a little bit more citrusy. Whereas that oak one, you know, it may be a little drier, and you know, it's going to have a lot more body to it. But for a pork chop, I would do a Chardonnay with a pork chop. Yeah.
Okay. Pinot Noir with a steak.
Pinot Noir with a steak. Red, or any red that you like. Even that Moscato that you it'll go good.
I know I would drink this totally.
Right.
I would drink this with a pork chop. I would drink this with a turkey sandwich.
Right. So and you can. Yes, but I wanted to give you that white.
Right. But I want to try, like, because you know, I want to try something. First of all, I like my wines sweet, and I like them cold, right? I'm a cold beverage drinker. But I want to try something that I don't necessarily, because you know, usually when you go to these events, the red is not chilled.
It's not, because most reds, now that Moscato needs to be cold because it's in the sparkling family.
Right.
And any sparkling wine, any champagne, that needs to be chilled. But most reds really just need to be at room temperature. But I'll tell you, I do like a little bit of a chill on all of my wine. So right before I get ready to open any red that I'm drinking, I'll always, you know, stick it in the refrigerator real quick, you know, couple of minutes just to get a little chill on it. But I love it too. That's not chilled too. So I'll drink it that way. But most of your red wines, they don't have to be chilled. And to get the true flavor out of it, you don't want to drink that cold.
Okay.
You know, that's the thing. But drink what you like and drink it how you like. So, I am not one of these pretentious wine drinkers.
Right.
That, you know, you have to do it this way and you have to drink it this way. Honey, drink what you like. You pay for it. It's yours. You do it any way you want to. Now I'm gonna fall out of my chair if I see you put some sugar in it, but if that's what you want to do.
I'm not gonna do that. But then let's talk about this. The storage of the wine. Yes. You know, like once you open up a bottle, the fortunate thing about this Moscato that I'm drinking, it has a twist top, so I can twist it back up, and you know, we can drink it over some days.
Gotcha.
Because like I said, I'm not drinking this to get drunk. I just drink it because it's a nice drink for me. It's a nice drink,
right?
So how do you store wines that you've opened up, or what is the, you know, the life of, let's say, so like that, what's the one you're drinking again?
I am drinking a Chenin Blanc.
A Chenin Blanc. What is? How would you store? Because you're not going to drink the whole bottle. So how? You know?
Well, if it's like you say, if it's a twist top, just twist that back up tight and put it in the refrigerator.
Right.
And let me, since we're talking about twist tops, let me dispel this myth. People think that if it's a twist top, then it's cheap and it doesn't taste good. That is a lie. Okay.
Right.
I have had some really good wines. This was a twist top.
$13 a
Thank
bottle.
You. Yes. This was a twist top. So the whether it has a cork in it or a twist top, that doesn't matter. Prime example, Walmart has its own brand of wine called Oak Leaf.
Right.
You're gonna find it at the bottom shelf. It's less than $5 a bottle. It has a cork. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has a cork. They all have a cork. So let me dispel that myth. But back to what you asked. How long? Your wine, and once you open it, always either put the cap back on it if it's a twist top, or recork it. Now you can buy, little corks in a package at Walmart, Target, or somewhere like that. They come like 5 in a pack, so you can put it back in if you can't get the original cork back in, or you can buy some wine stoppers. But put them in the refrigerator, whether it's red or white. Once you open it, and if you don't drink it all, put it in the refrigerator, and it should last about a week. It should last about a week. You can taste it and kind of tell when it's going bad or gone bad. If you taste it and it starts tasting vinegary, it's not good.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're gonna need to, you're gonna need to use, you're gonna need to either pour that out, and wine can be used as a cleaner or disinfectant. Did you know that? Because it's vinegar. So the older it gets, the vinegary it gets, and people, we use vinegar to clean. Right. So if you dilute that wine, and you can put that in a spray bottle and
clean out my stainless steel sink,
Clean out your stainless steel sink. It is a good cleaner once it starts getting old. So a lot of people don't know that. But yes, about a week, it'll last in the refrigerator.
Awesome.
Mine don't last that long, but
I know.
Yes, girl. Yes. But listen, let's talk about Take Two with Tonia.
All right, let's talk about it.
Take Two with Tonia, girl? What is that all about? What is your podcast all about?
So Take Two with Tonia is a journey in the life. I am here to empower and inspire women who are on the second half of their life, right? Most of the women that I speak to have already had their children. The children are older, they're grown. Now, I was unconventional and I started late. So mine a little bitty, and I'm still there in elementary school, so I'm still working it out. However, this is the second phase of my life. And so I keep running into women, and we're in the second phase. And like we've had the pandemic, over the last year and a half, a couple of years or so. And so people are trying to figure out, how do they pivot and how do they go in a different direction? What do they want to do? They, might have lost jobs or retired as a result of all that's going on in the world. So this is an opportunity for me to interview and talk with other women to just give an idea for those women that need something. They want to see the proof that it can be done.
Yes.
They want to get their mindsets together that it can be done. This is something else. And you're like, you with the the WineDeeDee and the Winenergy. This is your thing that you're doing now that you've raised the kids and they are pretty much on autopilot.
Yes.
Now you can, so I'm like, okay, this is something that Dee decided she wanted to do with her life. And this is something that she's always loved, but couldn't necessarily focus on it as much. Right. So now we're able to focus on that. I have always loved, or always ended up encouraging women, talking them off the ledge, right? When they're having issues. I don't know.
You're very good at that.
Right. So I'm talking you off the list. So this is just an extension of what I already do, right? I've always already done. So this is what Take Two with Tonia is. I have solo podcasts where I just get on here and I talk about an idea or a concept, or sometimes like how you and I are doing now, just having a conversation. I'll do that with the podcast guest. But we just thought that today would be a great day or a great time to introduce both of our podcasts and, come on and talk about it. So that's what Take Two with, that's what Take Two with Tonia is.
Girl, look, and I think it has come at the perfect time.
I do
because, there's so many people, like you said, pivoting.
Yes.
And I want to go back to what you said, that your kids are a little bitty. I love that you are showing people how you can do this in, for lack of a better term, reverse.
Right.
So I had my kids young. I got married young. I had my kids younger, well, fairly young, not in my teens, but after I did the checkbox thing, go to college, get your degree, check, get your husband, check, have kids, check, family, check, so I did the checkbox. So I checked off all the boxes, and I did it in that order. And that's good. That's great. But I love that you and your husband, you took a different path, you walked your path, and you decided later in your life, we want kids.
Right.
So we're not able to have them but that's okay.
Right.
So what people don't know, and I hope you don't mind me sharing it.
I don't.
You adopted a brother and a sister, and y'all had them now, what, 5 years now? I think
4 years.
4 years. 4 years.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, those were your kids. Yeah, right, somebody else might have birthed them. Yes, sir. Somebody else may have birthed them. But whoever birthed them, they birthed them for you and your husband. Right. They birthed them for you and Stephen, because when I tell you those are your kids. But I love how you're doing this in reverse. And this Take Two with Tonia is going to show people that it doesn't matter where stage you are in your life. Exactly. We all need a take two. We all get to the point where, okay, we need to do this again. Or we need to do this for the first time. We need to do something that maybe we tried or we thought about trying and we didn't quite see it through. It's my take two. So I love it. Love it. Love it.
You know, now that you say that, like, one of the things I want to talk about is like, if we were, what would we currently tell our younger selves, right? Oh, yeah. And one of the things that I would tell younger Tonia is do all the things, right? I grew up in church, and it was very restrictive. You know, it was very restrictive the way I grew up with some of the rules and some of the things. So I was a little scary when it came to doing a lot of stuff. So when you talk about checking off the boxes and all that kind of stuff, I checked off and I'm not saying don't check boxes, but I checked off boxes, but some of my boxes were very, very limited. I would tell younger Tonia, do not be limited. Don't be wild and loosey-goosey. There is there's a method to the madness.
Yes, there's a standard you need to have.
There is a standard that you still need to uphold. However, do the things. If you want to go and travel to other countries and stuff like that, I always felt like I needed to have a husband before, because I'm like, I don't even understand why I haven't been to Paris yet. Why have I not been to Paris? And that has been like one of the things I've wanted to go and do, because in the back of my mind, the programming was you got to have a man before you go to Paris, because Paris is so romantic.
But the programming is you got to have a man before you do anything.
Right. That's how that was a lot of the programming that I had to come through. And so now at Take Two with Tonia, I would tell younger Tonia, girl, get your bag, get your passport, get your ticket, and go do the things that you want to go and do. And I would even tell my women now who are in the second phase of life, go and do all the things. Get off the couch, get out the house, go and do the things. The worst thing that can happen is what? You don't like it.
Okay, come back. Go and just do. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of it. We talked about checking the boxes. Yeah. Well, checking those boxes sometimes puts you in a box. Yes. Get out of the box. Get out of the box. And you talk about telling people, I have 2 daughters, younger, 20, 17, about to be 21. One just turned 17. I am raising them. I tell people this, and some people look at me like when I say this, and I've said this a bunch of times, I'm not raising them to stay. I'm raising them to leave, to go and be productive citizens. Yes. Go and do what you just talked about. You are young. Go and do these things that you are able to do. I don't want to confine my children to being here with me all the time. Right. Because I've already raised you. How am I ever going to know that what I put in you, the good that I've tried to put in work, if I don't let you go and try? Right. Okay. So you're right. Don't put yourself in a box. I think, although I love my life, I'm not saying I don't love my life and I don't love the things that I've done, but I did box myself in based off of what you said, how we were raised, what we were told. Not saying that it was bad, but just saying that life is different now. We are seeing so many things these days will cause us to have to pivot so quick. Yes. Come on, COVID. Right. I didn't know what COVID was. Okay. I saw a thing today that apparently there was it was a Georgia Tech football game or something in 1918, and everybody was sitting at the game with masks on. And I'm like, wow, we are reliving that again. Reliving that again. So, you're right. Right. So things will cause you to pivot. So go and do. Yeah. Look, I can't say I necessarily wanted to start a podcast, but what I've always wanted to do was share my love for wine and food and educate people about it to the masses. Right. This is how I'm doing that on this second phase of my life, this Take Two part of my life. So you're right. I think Take Two with Tonia is coming at a time where young or old, you need it. It's never too late to start something. It's never too late to pick something back up that you started and didn't finish.
Right.
Take two. And take two don't mean you just do it 2 times. If you got to take two multiple times, do it multiple times.
Do it multiple times. Right.
But get out. Like you say, going to Paris, travel if that's what you want to do. And if you got to do it on a budget, do it on a budget.
Right.
There are places right here in the United States I haven't been.
Right.
You know, and why not? Just because I haven't. Just go, start there.
The U.S. has there's like a little passport that they have to go to all of the national parks.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about that.
Me neither, but I've seen it. Why not? And I haven't been.
Right. I want to see that geyser. You know, these are bucket list items of things that I want to do in the U.S. before I go. Now, I won't say before I go to Paris, but in conjunction with.
Yeah. Because you're going to get to Paris.
Right. I'm totally getting to Paris. Yes. And I think I think my niece wants to go for her graduation, which is next year or something like that. So I'm like, oh, I'm getting on that train. We all getting on that train.
Thank you. Why not? I'm like, why not? If you can do it, if you have the means, and if you don't have the means right now, go ahead and
put it on
saving
what we call layaway. Right.
Put that on. Thank you. Put that on layaway.
Right.
Do it because there's no reason, and that's how I'm raising my daughters. Hey, let's just go do it. You know, I do find myself sometimes trying to put them in a box, but I'm learning that they're different. Their generation is different. They think different. They do. Let them do. As long as they're not harming themselves, harming anybody else, and doing anything that's outside of their character and standard, why not?
Exactly.
Why not? Because there are so many people that I've met that ain't even been out of their city.
Don't get me started. Don't even get me started.
Haven't even been out of their city. I met a young lady who was doing my massage, and I think I told you this. We live 3 hours at the most away from Atlanta.
Yes.
She had never been in Atlanta.
Well, you know, while we're talking about that, you know, we live south of Birmingham, right?
Right.
It's some of them have never left Birmingham.
You're right. Never left Birmingham. Right. So we look. They've never left Birmingham. But this is the time. If you want, and I know the virus is still out there, so I'm telling people to be safe. I'm not telling you to just go out here and be crazy. Be cautious. Wear your mask. Get vaccinated. Whatever it is that you be safe. Be safe in your version of safe. But go out here and leave your area sometime.
Exactly.
If God or whoever your higher power is speaking to you and they're saying it's time for you to make a change, make that change.
Right.
It may be scary as all I know.
But do it scared. Do it ugly.
Do it scared.
Do it ugly.
Do it scared. Do it ugly. But do it. And you will feel, you can at least say, I tried it. If it didn't work out, it didn't work out. But I can say, hey, I tried that. Didn't work for me. But you know what? I'm moving on.
Failure, but a try. If you don't ever try, you'll never, ever know. I mean, take it with me and you starting these podcasts. We on Amazon ordering microphones and everything and trying to figure it out.
Thank you. Texting each other, girl. Did you see this? Yeah, sending pictures. Did you see that? Is this the one? You know, and look, we're on here.
Right.
That was what, a month ago?
Yes. At the most.
At the most. Right. A month ago, we didn't know nothing. We was like, well, how you do this? Well, let's sort. And look, we're on the podcast.
Right.
We have our mics.
Right.
We are talking. And we are out on different venues. We are on not only YouTube, Spotify.
Facebook, all of that.
All of that. So you guys go and check us out. We're there. And we're going to do exactly what we're doing here. I'm going to always have a glass of wine in my hand. But what's your wine? And we just going to talk, girl. We just going to talk. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is going to go and get me through the rest of my afternoon.
Because come on, it's wine. It's not, and like I said, I'm not advocating for everybody to go out there and drink, but I'm advocating for you. If it's something that you want to do,
right.
If it's something that you always said, I want to try, try. What did you just say? Don't nothing be the failure, but a try.
Nothing. Right.
Yes.
Right.
So yes, girl, I'm loving it.
Right. We're having us a great time. And Take Two with Tonia and What's Your Wine Energy would just like to thank you all for listening and tuning in. And we would just ask that if you would like and subscribe,
please
share with your friends, your family. And continue to just tune in and hear all of the great stuff we got going in. Every week, we're going to be dropping something, right? We're going to be dropping something, and it'll be just a nice, fun conversation. It'll be educational. I mean, because DeeDee just broke down all the wines and all the stuff to us, right? So just imagine if she could do something like that every week with her guests. And plus, she's gonna have a lot of other guests who are successful in business as well. So it's not just you just gonna talk about wine. That's part of
no, that's just part of it.
Right. That's part of it. But you will get life lessons and other things along with it, whatever.
Oh, most definitely.
Even, so that was our plan, and our goal is to just ensure that we empower and talk to our friends, the women, and make sure that we are, educated. We feel, like I said, empowered. We feel as if though we can do this because we can. We can totally do this, despite what the world says, despite what people say. Oh, hey, we are every woman.
Every woman. And we've gone through the things that a 50+ year women have gone through.
Right.
We've gone through all of the good, all of the bad, and there's more to come, of course. But we are at the point in our life now where we can handle it.
Yeah.
We've been through ups and downs and all kinds of different things, and we can learn, and we can also impart some knowledge. And right now, we're just asking people to tune in. We're not asking nobody for no money. We're not asking you to pay no fee. Hey, all we want you to do, click on the YouTube, listen to Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasting, and like it.
That's it. Like, share, leave a rating.
Like and share.
Rating.
Leave a comment. Yes, leave a rating.
Let me help you with the rating. The rating is these podcasts are awesome. They're wonderful. And I suggest. So if you didn't know what to say,
don't listen. But if you do, tell us that you love it and that you like it, because all we're doing is trying to share our passion.
That's it.
And that's it. And anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. You got a passion you want to share it. And that is all we're trying to do. Girl, look, I hope this will not be the last time that you invite me on Take Two with Tonia.
It won't.
Please. Because look, you are on my list to talk about some specific things. So be on the lookout.
I will.
And I expect for you to come back to talk about those things. I'm not going to share. It's a teaser, y'all.
Right.
Because Tonia has done at least 2 things that I am just blown away and amazed by, and that she's going to be able to help you if you are interested. And so I want to have you back at least 2 more times to talk about
anytime.
Yes.
Girl, I'm always down for a sister chat.
Honey, and we always going to have us some wine when we do it. Yes, always. Yes. But thank you, Tonia, so much. I appreciate you planting the seed. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate you just saying, girl, we can do this. Because that's always your thinking, girl, we can do this. We can do this.
Right.
And if we've never
always say, this ain't rocket science.
This ain't rocket science.
We're not trying to get to the moon. They did that. Well, they said they did. They said that.
They said that. That'd be another episode.
Right. That's another episode.
Right. But what I love is that we talked about this a month or so ago, and we did it.
It has manifested.
It has manifested itself. And so I just love it. Girl,
and our husbands are on board.
Yes, they doing the editing. They doing the, they watching it. They giving the feedback. They're telling us what we need to do, what we don't need to do. Because my last episode, my husband told me your lights were too bright. I was like, so I turned them down a little bit today.
Right.
Turn them down a little more. I don't know, but I'm gonna let him look at it.
So yeah, so that's the part I love about it. Our husbands are so on board, because my husband asked me today, what you need me to do? Saturday, I got this to do. What you need me to do?
Right. Yes. I love you. I love it. I love it too. I told myself I'm doing another episode. He was like, well, you need me to edit it? Yeah, I'm gonna need you to look at it. I'm gonna always need your feedback. Because both our husbands, they're big into photography and things of that nature. That ain't my cup of tea. If the camera ain't on the phone, I don't see why you need to have it. But anyway.
a mess.
I'm horrible. You know I'm horrible. So, but you know, because there's too many of those cameras, they big and they got too many buttons and settings. And I'm like, ooh, on this phone, I just say boop, boop, click.
But you know, though, if anybody out here is listening and they want to start a podcast, you don't have to have all of the stuff. You can use your phone, especially now if you have a smartphone. There is no excuse for not being able to start
right in your pocket. That's
right. Those cameras are even better than some of the other cameras that are out there. So don't let that stop you. Come on, guys. We got this. We got
this. Right. Don't let, because you and I talked about, we researched mics and all this. You don't have to have this.
Right.
Everybody nowadays, most everybody, you have a smartphone. And you got a smartphone and some headphones. That's all you need. That's all you need to get it started.
Right.
And that's it. And stand next to a blank wall somewhere, you good. So
that's it.
You are good.
And that's if you're gonna do video. You might just do audio. You can do that in your closet,
Yes, that's right. And because podcasting really didn't start with videos. Videos really, I mean, it's kind of new with podcasting if you really think about it. Podcasting started with just people listening. Right. And so, and
that's still mostly how it's pushed.
That's right.
Mostly how it's pushed. But now,
So our thing is, if anybody want to do this, do it. Everybody has something to share. Right. Everybody. Right. That somebody may not know you were interested in this. They may not know that you have the knowledge about something. Correct. Because we tend to not really share, a lot of things with people we don't know. Well, this is your way to share the knowledge that you have, your interest. It's your way to learn from other people, about what's going on and what they've done and what you can potentially do. So so girl, boy, thank you, girl. I just thank you so much for having me on. Take Two with Tonia, girl. I already got it saved, so anytime an episode come up, I'm there. Right. I'm looking and I'm gonna be watching and I'm gonna be listening, and in the car I'm gonna have it on, because I've just become such a pod head now that even in the car, girl, I'm listening to podcasts. I was like, oh, I'm just listening to my music now. I'm trying to see what podcast.
Well, that's it for today's episode of Take Two with Tonia. Thank you for joining us. Please be sure to like, share, and comment on whatever platform you happen to be listening to. Remember, if you share, tag me at Take Two with Tonia. I would love to see who all is out there listening. Lastly, remember, you create your own reality and you are 100% responsible for your life. Till next week, I love you all, and this is Tonia with Take Two with Tonia.